How do you know which pediatrician to choose to use for your baby? Well, I have some suggestions. Go to www.personalchildbirthtrainer.com, that's my website, and download the form Pediatrician Interview. There you have an entire form filled with questions, and feel free to take them with you when you go interview your pediatrician. A lot of times people say to me, Diane, what am I going to ask a pediatrician? Well, let me help you. First of all, is the pediatrician the only one in the group, or is there a very big group? So there are tiny practices and there are very big practices. Both have pros and cons. A smaller practice, you would get to know that one pediatrician very well. In the bigger practices, sometimes those are open 7 days a week. So guess what? On a Saturday and Sunday, you could go see your pediatrician. So the bigger groups tend to offer more hours and more days versus the smaller groups. When you go to the pediatrician's office, start looking around. What does the waiting room look like? Is it clean? Is it dirty? Some pediatrician offices have actually two separate waiting areas, which I think is a fabulous idea. On one side of the waiting room, it's for the healthier children, and on the other side of the waiting room, it would be for the children that are there because they're sick. So that's a great idea. How is the staff? How are you treated? How are you received? Are they nice? Are they friendly? Are they polite? When you go inside to interview with your pediatrician, ask them tons of questions about their education and their experience, that type of thing. Also, though, are they receptive to your questions? Do they appear to be in a hurry, as if you're taking up too much of their time? Or are they interested in answering every question that you possibly have? So these are concerns to me, because if you're not even willing to sit with me and talk during an interview, what's going to happen if my baby is sick? Are you going to make me feel rushed also? Or will you give me time and answer my questions? Ask them different questions also. How do they feel about breastfeeding? How do they feel about vaccines? You know, ask them tons of different things. Okay, so those were some helpful hints and suggestions on what to ask your pediatrician. So don't forget, download the form, take it with you. Feel free to write the answers right there as they're speaking. Most important, when you're done and when you decide which pediatrician to use, make sure you take your pediatrician's name and telephone number with you to the hospital.